Hello, Spartan fans. We have a jam-packed show for you today. First, we'll recap NSU's football season opening loss to Maine.
We'll also find out how the NSU volleyball team did in their season opening weekend at Appalachian State.
Later on, we'll get a sneak peek at the upcoming weekend for football and volleyball, preview the NSU cross-country seasons, and find out how Spartan coaches and athletes are reaching out to the community. All this and more coming up on the Spartan Sports Zone.
Hello and welcome to the Spartan Sports Zone. I'm Ross Gordon, the play-by-play voice of the Spartans, joined by Mike Bello, the Assistant Sports Information Director, and joined shortly by Chandrea Lee of the NSU Sports Information staff. Let's dive right into the action today as the 2013 edition of the Norfolk State University football team hit the field on last Saturday, looking to get the 2013 season off to a fast start. They welcomed in the Black Bears of Maine to Dick Price Stadium. It was a great crowd on hand for the Virginia Lottery Labor Day Classic, and as usual, the action was a little slow to start in the first ball game. NSU starting quarterback Tyler Clark looked solid on his first drive, connected with wide receiver Jerron Stokes for this 10-yard gain in the first quarter, but the Spartans could not sustain any drives in the first offensively. Coach Adrian and the defense started off strongly on the other hand. After a mishandled punt snap left the defense backed up in their own end, Lyndon Trail forced and recovered a fumble by Ricky Stevens on the first play of the game for the Black Bears offense. After a quick 3-and-out for the Spartans, the first clean punt of the day left the Black Bears with great field position at the Spartan 39. The defense held the Black Bears to a Sean DeClue 33-yard field goal for the first points of the ball game. We move now to the second quarter, and it was the most fireworks that we would see all night. After an interception thrown by Clark, again the Spartans defense was backed up deep in their own territory, which led to another DeClue field goal. Enter Malik Stokes now for Norfolk State at quarterback. For NSU, who started off slowly with a 3-and-out, that was followed by our first touchdown of the day. After a 33-yard pitch and catch from Marcus Wazalewski, the Black Bears quarterback, to Derek Johnson, Ricky Stevens plunged in from 2 yards out to put the Black Bears up 13. We now fast forward into the second quarter. After a few stalled drives by both teams, the Spartans got on the board as Malik Stokes got in rhythm, first by hitting his brother Jerron Stokes, and then a few plays later, a 20-yard swing pass to Deuce Finch, who also rushed for 80 yards on the night. The only points of the night came on the very next play as Stokes found Joe Hawkins running up the seam to get 6 for the Spartans and put them on the board. Coach Adrian talked about his quarterbacks and how he felt they played on Saturday.
Well, it was sporadic at best, and again, both of them did a couple of good things, and they certainly made mistakes, but it's also their first ball game they've ever played in. That's why they both played, and we're trying to see just how good they're going to do. And next week against Rutgers, they'll both play because we're trying to get ready for Morgan State and get ready for the conference.
The second half saw 10 points put on the board, all by the Black Bears, as Wazalewski hit Zedrick Joseph on a wheel route out of the backfield for an 85-yard touchdown pass, and DeClue rounded out the scoring with a chip shot field goal to provide the final margin. The defense was led by Marcel Koch, who ended up with 11 tackles, and Deion King, who chipped in with 5 tackles, 3 of them for a loss, to go along with the sack. The Bears were led by Cabrini Gonchaves, who totaled 11 tackles, 3 for loss, with 2 sacks. Norfolk State will take this game and look ahead as they prepare for Rutgers on Saturday. Joe Hawkins talked about what the Spartans need to do to prepare for the Scarlet Knights.
We just have to capitalize on the little things once again. We had about 10 penalties, so hopefully we get the penalties corrected, and hopefully we just come together as a unit and just play ball.
Later on, Chandrea Lee will give us a closer look at the Scarlet Knights.
The volleyball team was in action over the weekend at the Appalachian Invitational to start the season. The team entered the year with some lofty goals, one of which was to get off on the right foot after struggling during the early part of last season. NSU did just that on Friday with a 3-1 victory over Sam Houston State. Senior Goda Yanko-Skeda and sophomore Jessica Johnson carried the NSU offense in the early going. Yanko-Skeda had 17 kills and Johnson added 14. Redshirt junior Noah Eagles, meanwhile, became the first ever NSU player to top 1,000 career digs after going for 21 against Sam Houston State. Johnson and Yanko-Skeda again led NSU on the offensive side in a 3-2 loss to Loyola, Maryland on day 2 of the tournament on Saturday. We caught up with head coach Brandon Duvall on Labor Day out at the Norfolk Tides baseball game as he and 3 student athletes signed autographs for fans. Coach Duvall was very pleased with how the Spartans started the tournament.
We started off the weekend great. We beat Sam Houston State, who was really kind of a big concern for us because they finished close to the top 100 in RPI last year. And going into that match, I wouldn't say we were nervous, but we knew we had our work cut out. And the girls played phenomenal. It was amazing to watch them and how confident they played and how the communication level and the aggressiveness and everything. It was exactly what we were hoping for coming out of the first game of the year.
NSU heads to West Virginia for the Mountaineer Invitational Friday and Saturday. When we come back, we will tag along with Duvall and Adrian as they made an appearance at Harbor Park this week as part of NSU's community outreach initiatives. We'll also take a peek at the football team's big challenge as they head to Rutgers on Saturday. All that plus more coming up on the Spartan Sports Zone.
Secure your future by getting a top-notch education only at Norfolk State University. With world-class faculty and facilities, a bustling campus life, and highly regarded programs in the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology in the School of Business, Norfolk State is one of Virginia's leaders in higher education. Founded in 1935 as a beacon of hope to the region's youth, more than 78 years later, the university remains a source of inspiration for those in the Hampton Roads region and beyond who aspire to fulfill their dreams. A military-friendly school in one of the largest military areas of the world, Norfolk State University is home to faculty researchers who have forged partnerships that have created cutting-edge virtual learning environments. With more than 30,000 alumni, Norfolk State has played a vital role in our community in the past and is serving in a critical role today, and will continue to be an academic leader in the future. Find out more at nsu.edu. Norfolk State University, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back to the Spartan Sports Zone. Coaches and student athletes have many responsibilities when it comes to their day-to-day lives. Student athletes have to not only compete at a high level on the field, but they also have to balance the demands of their classwork each and every day. Another important responsibility for coaches and players is to get out and engage in community service while also reaching out to fans to spread the word about their programs. Spartan Sports Zone correspondent Ross Gordon caught up with volleyball and football head coaches and players this week at a Norfolk Tides AAA baseball game at Harbor Park.
Welcome back to NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. I'm Ross Gordon, the play-by-play voice of the Spartans, and today we're out at Harbor Park yet once again, but there is no baseball on the schedule for Norfolk State today and yesterday on Sunday. The Spartans volleyball teams and football teams came out to mingle with the fans. They've given autographs, they've talked to fans, they've spoken with community leaders, and today and yesterday, the Spartans were out in the community doing what they love to do best, engage with their fans. Coach Pete Adrian of the NSU football team has been here at Norfolk State 9 years, and each one of the 9 years he's been here, he's made it a point to get out and talk to the community, be out and be a face of Norfolk State University football and Norfolk State University athletics. He talked about how important it was for him and his team to get out in the community to show the community what the Spartans do and what they mean to the community.
Well, we always want to get out in the community and whatnot. There's nothing any better than going to a baseball game, and especially one right here where the Tides are playing Durham for try to get into the championship games or get into the playoffs like that. And we were here signing some autographs and signing some posters for all the people. We had great response out here for the last couple of hours. It was a lot of fun.
Coach Brandon Duvall, in his 4th season as interim volleyball coach here at Norfolk State University, echoed the sentiments of Coach Adrian, saying how important it was for the local individuals to show their support for what the local community has done for them in their volleyball careers and moving forward.
It means a lot to the program because, to do something like this locally when we have a few girls on the roster or local, years ago we were getting girls from all over, which is great. It means our program is being recognized far and wide, but to be able to get some kids locally knowing about the program, interested in the program, and then of course coming to NSU to play volleyball, it's a big deal for us. And seeing the support that we have from some of the fans here at the game today, some of the girls are already well known, it appears. I didn't even know that, but a few of the fans came up and were asking about some of the players, and so especially some of the local players like Angie Darkus, who went to school in Virginia Beach, and Tori Torrenslew, who went to Chesapeake. It's really big for the program to be able to be recognized locally.
Both Coach Adrian and Coach Duvall brought 3 of their players out to Harbor Park to enjoy the festivities as well. For Coach Adrian, he brought senior tight end Joe Hawkins, senior offensive lineman Blake Matthews, and junior linebacker Lyndon Trail out to Harbor Park. And Lyndon Trail talked about how excited he was to have an opportunity to give back.
It's always a blessing, to come out and meet the fans that actually support you and what you do. And it's always great to just come out and see their faces and see the smiles and see the kids and interact with them. I'm a people's person, so I have to be around people. It's just how I operate, and I always take out of my time to do things like this. Furthermore, in the off season, as far as Joey Hawkins, guys like Blake Matthews, we also work with at-risk kids as well. So it's always a great opportunity to come out here and see these smiles.
For Coach Duvall and the NSU women's volleyball team, Corla Jarema, Tori Tulinshrew, and Jasmine Flowers came out to show their support. They signed autographs. They also met with young ladies who want to be volleyball players in the future. And Jasmine Flowers talked about being on her day off, having the opportunity to come out and show her love for Norfolk State University.
No, I don't mind being here on my day off. Basically just being out here supporting our athletic family. It's great. I'm enjoying all the atmosphere and all the crowds, and it's a great place to be able to support our team and the whole athletic community at NSU.
Norfolk State University's athletics department and the Norfolk Tides have partnered together before on many of occasions. The baseball games between the Tides and the Spartans have gotten Coach Claudel Clark close with the organization, and Coach Clark set up these events to help make sure that Norfolk State and the Tides create a long-lasting relationship with the community. The partnership with the Norfolk Tide is one of many community service efforts that the Spartans will participate in this year. They will also participate in Habitat for Humanity Collegiate Challenge, St. Mary's Children's Home, the Ronald McDonald House, Salvation Army Christmas Depot, and Read Across America Week at local elementary schools. We'll make sure we keep you posted on all the community efforts here at Norfolk State University and its athletics department right here on NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. I'm Ross Gordon, and we'll see you next time.
The NSU Athletics Department thanks both the Tides for hosting and Spartan baseball coach Claudel Clark for helping set it up. We will have more throughout the year on some of those community service initiatives.
As we mentioned earlier, the Spartans will take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on next Saturday. With a look at the Scarlet Knights, here is Chandrea Lee.
Thanks, Ross. The Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, like the Spartans, entered this game with the 0-1 record after a 52-51 overtime setback at the hands of the Fresno State University Bulldogs last week. Rutgers offensively were led by sophomore running back Paul James, who ran for a career-high 182 yards, and quarterback Gary Nova, who passed for 348 yards and 5 touchdowns, 3 of which were tossed to sophomore wideout Leonte Carroll, who finished the day with 124 yards receiving. Defensively, redshirt freshman linebacker Steve Long led the charge for the Scarlet Knights with 9 tackles. The defensive unit gave up 537 yards, with 456 of them coming through the air. The defense did force 3 turnovers on the night, but it was not enough. Rutgers is coached by second-year head coach Kyle Flood and are members of the American Athletic Conference, formerly known as the Big East. Rutgers will be joining the Big Ten next year. Now let's take it over to Mike as he previews the upcoming volleyball week.
Coming off that 1-2 weekend at Appalachian State, the volleyball team heads north to take part in the Mountaineer Invitational at West Virginia. NSU will play West Virginia and Navy on Friday and Fordham and Canisius on Saturday. The Spartans have never faced West Virginia or Fordham in their history. West Virginia opened the season 3-0 at the Blue and Gold Invitational at Toledo. Fordham, meanwhile, enters the weekend with a 1-2 record after competing at the Winthrop Classic. Fordham's lone win was a 3-0 victory over MEAC opponent Savannah State. NSU has played Canisius just one time, a 3-1 loss back in 2010. The Golden Griffins dropped all 4 matches at their home tournament to start the season. NSU is very familiar, though, with the 4th opponent this weekend, the U.S. Naval Academy, having defeated the midshipmen in the team's last 2 meetings in 2010 and 2012. Like Canisius, Navy also opened the season with a home tournament, finishing 1-2. This weekend's Mountaineer Invitational is one of Duval fields the Spartans can play well in and come away with at least a few victories.
We just got to go out and just execute the way we know how to execute and go in with some confidence. And I think if we do, I think we should come out feeling pretty successful.
NSU fans can follow the live stats provided by West Virginia for all 4 matches this weekend, as well as a live video feed for the contest against West Virginia. Check back at NSUSpartans.com for those links this week.
The Norfolk State cross-country programs are looking to reclaim its position at the top of the MEAC charts this season. The women's program returned 6 runners from a team that finished 10th at the MEAC championship last season. Among those back is sophomore Rachel Webb. Webb was the Spartans' top performer at the 2012 MEAC championship, where she ran a personal best time of 19 minutes and 46 seconds to finish in 18th place. Head coach Kenneth Giles says that Webb has the ability to be NSU's top performer again this year. The men's team is coming off of a second-place finish at the MEAC championship last season. This was the first time in 4 years that the Spartans failed to clinch the MEAC title. Headlining the list of returnees on the men's side is Kip Cheer Kip 2. Kip 2 was NSU's top performer at the 2012 MEAC championship, where he finished 9th, running a time of 26 minutes and 6 seconds. He also ran a season-best time of 25 minutes and 38 seconds at the 2012 NCAA pre-national meet. The cross-country teams will open the season on Saturday in Princess Anne, Maryland, at the Lid Lifter Invitational, hosted by the University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Thank you, Chandrea. It's now time for this week's top 3 performances. Coming in at number 3 is redshirt junior libero Noelle Eagles of the Norfolk State volleyball team. She became the first ever NSU player to top 1,000 career digs, accomplishing that feat over the weekend. Number 2 is senior tight end Joe Hawkins of the football team. Joe scored NSU's lone points on a 34-yard touchdown catch and finished the day with 3 catches for 49 yards. And our number 1 performer this week is senior outside hitter Goda Yankovskata of the NSU volleyball team. Goda led NSU with 35 kills over the weekend at the Appalachian Invitational and was a key player in NSU's big win over Sam Houston State. Well, guys, it's been another great show, and that will do it for this week's edition of the Spartan Sports Zone. And as always, we'd like to thank the Department of Video and Media Production and Chantel Copes for all of their help here today.
I'm Chandrea Lee.
I'm Mike Bello.
And I'm Ross Gordon. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week.